Back here with the CEN CT, gonna take this back to the lot to locate that shift point. We're well within the range, but there's more work to do. I want to see the full potential of this, so it's time to get that adjustment nailed down. So basically, I think I need to go a quarter turn in on each side of the 2-speed clutch, and we should be good. I was giving it a little test just to see where the battery stood. I'm definitely going to charge this hump pack, but just wanted to see what things looked like. And I noticed that there was some movement here on the carburetor, especially when throttle. I noticed a little bit during the brake too, but yeah, if this week's old vintage servo is moving it that much, obviously it's loose. So I gave it the finger test and it's loose. So I'm gonna have to get that tight, but it's kind of a bad angle to get onto that nut there to tighten it on what's it? Forget the name of that pin, carb lock pin, something, whatever. So yeah, I gotta tighten the carb, and then once that's done, I'll charge the battery and we'll get this out to the field for some more 2-speed fine tuning. So the carburetor sits in a plastic sleeve, so that's why the carb pin won't really grip it to prevent it from rotating, because there's plastic between it. I don't remember seeing that in previous disassemblies of this engine. So that's why the carburetor is rotating. So I just went to crank it down a lot. I had a feeling that it could break, and it did. This is a really bad idea. Whoever thought of that in the CEN company, shame on you. So now I'm gonna have to try to pull this out and then find a carburetor that fits, because this engine seems to be, you know, fine. So I'm gonna go look to see. I think a Traxxas carburetor will fit in here. I'm gonna see if I have any extra Traxxas carburetors. I'm pretty sure I do. Went to the parts stash, vehicle storage, and found a Traxxas carb on an incomplete CEN. The boot seems to be in okay condition as well. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that cracking. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this carb. Be sure that it fits in this engine. So that was an easy pull. You can see from this engine there's no plastic sleeve. So that is something I just learned, that if your stock carburetor is giving you trouble in regards to staying seated, that would be why. The pin here doesn't have the proper grip in order to hold the carburetor as it should. So let's get this sleeve out of here and be sure that we can get this Traxxas carb on there. Just be sure that the boot is still good. Yeah, there's still some life in there. Good. All right. All right, so we've got the Traxxas carburetor installed. I don't know what that means for the tuning. Basically, I'm starting over. So here's that plastic sleeve. Horrible design. Bad idea, whoever came up with it. Complete moron. Of course, that's not going to allow the strength needed to grip the carburetor. So let's give this a test to be sure that nothing moves. I don't see any movement. Alright, so I'm going to charge this battery for a few minutes. We'll get out to the field and see what adjustments need to be made from here. I definitely will need to tighten the 2-speed clutch slightly. So I think while the battery's charging, I'll do a quarter turn in on that, and we'll go from there to see whether or not the 2-speed or the carburetor needs to be adjusted. I'm going to probably go in to 0 and then do the factory Traxxas carb settings. 1.5 or 2 out on the low end, 3.5 out on the high end, and idle as needed. So we'll see what this change did for us. Hopefully it was good. Alright, so we made it out to the lot. As soon as I pulled up, there was a cop pulling out. So I don't know if this session is going to be a bust, but I'm just going to get her started quick. So I'm going to stop recording and then come back recording once things are all fired up. I don't know how this carburetor is going to do. So this is a whole new baseline now. I got a fully charged remote, a fully charged battery, so let's get to it. So I was driving it and I noticed that there was some clicking coming from the front end somewhere, and somewhere along driving it, the front dog bone popped out. I'm not sure how or why or when. Well, I know when, but I don't know what I did for that to occur. It's the first time I've had that happen with this platform. So let's see if I can get this popped back in, get it started back up. It does have a hard time staying running just because it's a new setup. I'm not familiar with the exact tune that it needs, so I'm kind of chasing that, trying to keep it running, and trying to get it to shift as well. I did get it to shift, and it shifts a little on the late side after the adjustment I did, but it has a lot of high end when it comes to the first gear. So you get the full potential from the first gear. Excuse me. You get the full potential from the first gear, unlike I've ever seen with this platform. So I'm going to leave the shift point adjustment where it is and just try to tune the car, tune the carburetor, you know. So we'll go from there. But yeah, I got to pop that back in and hopefully it goes in easily. I noticed there was a clicking coming from the drivetrain. I was like that. I thought there was like missing teeth in a belt or something, but I'm glad nothing's missing. I'm glad it didn't fly out and go away. So anyways, let me pop that back in and we'll get it started back up. I need to adjust the steering. Oh. I need to adjust the steering. So idle needs to be adjusted. Everything needs to be adjusted on the carburetor. I just don't know which end needs what. So right now it's 2 out on the low, 4 out on the high. So I think the low end needs more adjustment. The low end and the idle. And I think maybe 1/8 of a turn out on the clutch for the 2-speed will do. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time for all that tonight, just because it's getting towards the end of the lights availability. What time is it? Yeah, I'd say I probably have like 15-20 more minutes, so I think I'm gonna call it a night for this, but I'll definitely be coming back after some bench testing and just make sure that this carburetor works the way it's supposed to. I was expecting this, to be honest. I didn't even expect to be able to run it as much as I did. Let's see how much I ran. It was a full tank, so it's about a half tank. Did quite a few passes off the camera, and then you saw what I was able to get in. But anyways, it's just going to require more time. So at least we got the carburetor issue fixed, because that movement was just absolutely crazy. So I'll have to look into that for the other engines as I proceed through the rest of the CEN fleet. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I'm gonna look into the Audi as well, make sure that it doesn't have that wiggly carb issue as well. So it's always a work in progress. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for your interest in Nitro, and we will see you in the next one.